Well, it really depends on the person and it depends on the industry. I would say overall, there is definitely Zoom fatigue, as I call it. People are tired of being on laptops all day, and then going to an event usually takes them outside of their office space. You know, it's that element of meeting people in person, and then a lot of these events will have a networking, drinks or a reception or dinner on the first day or the second day, and these events always finish with another event where people then just like deals have been made, contracts have been signed, people are happy. Now this is the sort of the last night, the last hurrah, where everybody, and a lot of these events are always destination based as well. So that I used to host events in Boston, San Francisco, Malay, Thailand, all these places, and that alone, the destination was a draw for most of these people. So that elements and the networking is, there's having after a long day of like meetings, sitting down with a client with a drink is a lot more sort of relationship building is a lot easier in that sense, and people like to do business or work with people that are likable, they like. So it's not always about the great deal. And industries like the telecoms, for example, have been hit really hard because no one came for the content for those events. People only came to meet people, and the deals were done right there and then. It was literally like the
I came for the
event.
drinks.
Yeah, exactly. Or that. Yeah. So, some industries are really reliant on the face-to-face meetings. But then we've had to pivot. I think if COVID didn't hit, we would still be having physical events. However, I think in other ways, there's a lot of advantages for virtual events, especially for sponsors, attendees. The user experience is so much, you get a lot more of your time. And when I say that, these virtual events have become a lot more sophisticated. So there's a lot of data that you can take away after you've attended. For example, I can, there's always a lot happening at an event. There's always like maybe 2 or 3 streams. So there's always like 2 or 3 sessions happening at the same time. And a lot of these, like most of this time, the rooms or the theaters, are like quite far away from each other. So if you want to go to one session, then you'd have to walk over to another. So you save a lot of time in sort of jumping in between sessions. You get more for your time. You can go, you can attend more sessions. You can interact with the speaker more because they have all these interactive polling and messaging and question Q&A time. And from the comfort of your home, you can meet a lot more people. And the other good thing about the virtual platforms is that, based on your sort of profile, once you update it based on your interest and background and job title, a lot of these platforms are now sophisticated enough to show you or recommend you the people that you might find useful. So like powered by AI, it's, not super clever, but basic AI functionalities to then that way, again, you get more ROI for your time. Meeting, instead of going around looking for the right badge name or the right job title, it's all in front of you. You just know exactly who to meet, who you want to talk to, and who you want to engage with. So in that sense, for an attendee, it's you get more out of it. And then from a sponsor, for example, normally a sponsor will exhibit or sponsor will have a booth, and they would just rely on people coming and stopping by their booths. Now people can, they can get their data or the leads of anyone that stopped by on their page and or checked out any of their products. They will get that data and they can follow up straight away after the event. So again, from a sponsorship point of view, you get a lot more data, and data is what you need, right? Like that's the whole purpose of anyone even taking a booth or anything, because they want the leads. You have better chances of getting leads that are more relevant for you. So there's a lot of pros and cons to both. I think the ideal scenario or situation would be a hybrid event where you have the choice to do, I will watch this from home, I'll go in one day to watch, maybe to meet a couple of people in person. So it really depends on the person. Like a lot of people are super happy that these events are virtual because they hate the fatigue of being on site, and the starting time is so early and then having to finish so late. Other people are like, I don't want to do this virtually, it's not the same, it's not for me. So I think it's really, really getting that message out there and actually remembering to talk about all the advantages and the tools and the benefits of your actual platform that you're using, not just about the speakers, because people want to know what the experience is going to be like if they're going to attend a virtual event. I want to know how interactive it is. In fact, I want to know that I want to be marketed to in a way where it says forget physical events because virtual events are so much better for XY reason. And then you go into the content, because I want to know what's different about your platform. That's, you know, again, the big question is, it sounds like just another big webinar. I don't want to go to another webinar. So marketers need to remember to paint their platform in a light where it's inviting, and to the point where I said, I want to try that out. That sounds cool. Maybe build a feature that in a way where it engages or interacts with people that you otherwise wouldn't at a physical event.